we dropped out right after that enormous battle that you fought down here. What feels almost like below the Abomination Vaults to some extent, because there's a lot of natural rock and what looks like an underground lake. Um, there are still tunnel systems, and there are still some sections that seem to be worked masonry, but it is starting to feel different from the levels above that were basically all worked stone and built architecture. Um, yeah, you got into a sequence of fights that all started because you tried to reach out to what looked like a group of gnomes, but turned out to be some kind of weird, nefarious, malevolent mummies. Maybe they were gnomes at some point. They still had those features, those large eyebrows, those pointy ears, but they certainly had none of the gnomish spirit left in them. On top of that, they also alerted some weird, powerful undead that also kind of still looked like gnomes, but were very much transformed into some kind of supernatural evil, corrupted beyond recognition, horrifically twisted, and quite horrifying to behold. But you overcame all of them. Even the skeletal Hulk that managed to break free from its cage. And as the sounds of battle die down, and what's left is just the chittering of the vaguely humanoid giant lobster that's still sitting over here in this cage, having watched the entire battle play out. And you can tell that it's kind of like intimidated by the display that you just showed, this wave after wave of enemies that you overcame. And it's just kind of quietly hunkering down in its cell, just waiting for these mad people to keep on moving. Um, so yeah, the battle has literally just ended, and we can jump right back in. So I don't know if we need to keep track of the spells that you have currently cast.
Well, I'm assuming my mantle is going to go down because it's only a minute long.
Yes.
Your what you said?
Mantle of Unwavering Heart.
Mantle. Okay.
It's a spell that I cast that is making me large. So I guess I have to get rid of. I am drained too.
I think we're all quite drained.
Yeah, both physically and mentally.
And Souma is stupefied. I
Yeah.
think that this is a good opportunity to go back to civilization, have some rest, and maybe this time we get to try out this elevator thing.
I mean, we really just got down here. Literally, we got down here and then we got into this huge fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we can push on if.
yeah. Unfortunately, Bark, this is the kind of routine you'll have to get used to if you want to go down the Abomination Vaults.
Really?
Yeah.
10 minutes of work every day? I guess that's not terrible.
So the commute sucks, though.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's abominable.
uh,
And while we're talking, Soma like heavily breathing, she will actually try to like to stomp on the remains of the of those draining gnomes, like because well.
well, yeah. I
She
mean,
has to.
these. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, she has to release some pent up aggression. And by the way, if they have something, she will also try to see if maybe they have some compensation for the suffering they put them through.
Yeah, Bark is meanwhile going to take a look at this bone Hulk thing and try to understand what the hell it was.
You can give me a knowledge religion check or any sort of lore that you would think might be
Let's
applicable.
see. Religion or lore. Only a forest lore. This doesn't look like a forest kind of
Not
thing.
really.
Yeah, he is not the erudite figure that Lucca was. So he's just scratching his head.
But would Bark still collect his bones?
Yeah, I mean, you look through what's left of this creature, look over it, and you see all sorts of different bones. And I guess even, I mean, you're probably an expert in nature, so you would be able to identify the species that those bones come from fairly easily, I would say. And you always thought that skeletons were made from an individual creature that died and then gets raised as a skeleton. But this one looks like it's been cobbled together almost more like a golem than a skeleton. Um, because you see all of these like disparate pieces that have been fused together, or in some places even just tied together with crude replacements for ligaments. And it's quite the weird creature.
Didn't Lucca cobble himself together all the time when he suffered damage?
Yeah, Lucca was made of a bunch of different bones.
Makes me think, huh? Oh well.
And what about the gloom creatures? I don't know if we've. Well, they look gloomish, but we don't know what they are really.
Yeah, yeah. Um, why don't you give me a knowledge religion first of all? And then also, um,
I am not trained in religion.
there it is. Or society. Or if you have any Darklands lore or something like that, that could also work. Oh, maybe I should roll for Sandy as well. He doesn't have no untrained in religion, untrained in society. Yeah, I don't think he's going to contribute much here. All right. Where's the DC? Okay. Yeah, you're stumped. They, again, very much gnomish features. That's something that Soma and Ottardo, you both agree. But something has happened to their bodies. They clearly were undead. So that much you can tell. But even before their death, something must have been done to their bodies. Their skin seems weird, kind of like mummified. There's this very peaty smell that emanates from them, as if they had been encased in a bog of some kind. Um, but you have no idea how all of this fits together.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's we can think on this after we have a good dinner. So is this elevator work is operational? Can we make it work?
Well, it's currently like weirdly angled and almost wedged into the shaft that it's supposed to climb. So it's certainly not functional. If anyone wants to take a look at the mechanism, you're welcome to do that.
Ottardo will do so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just your expertise. We don't even need your role yet. You think that, yeah, it looks pretty rusted. You'll probably be able to fix it, at least to the point that it would get you up there. It's a little weird though, the whole mechanism, where you need to pull the different levers that are in the four corners in different ways or at different rates to make sure that everything stays level, which is why Augrel somehow got it twisted and wedged in there. And even with that knowledge, it would definitely take, worst case, a couple of hours to hammer everything into shape to get it working.
I mean, it's that or wait, how do we get down here before? Oh,
We didn't actually get here, but before when we were level up, Augrel tried to climb down. Well, he
Right.
did climb down, and
no, yeah.
and-
Oh, okay, sure. Bark catches on quickly. No, but how do we get down here this morning? I already forgot.
We had to swim.
yeah, we came came in from this platform. No, through here. We had to swim this.
Oh, right. There was that.
little-
Yeah,
those
I
stairs.
think it's actually would be worth it to spend some time and repair it. We can assist Sir Ottardo if it helps.
Oh, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
That's right. All right, give it a shot.
I have a crafter's eyepiece, so okay, maybe Arthur doesn't need help.
Yes, like if Bark probably says like, I think I have it somewhere in my backpack, and Otardo's like, nope, I'm good. It's done.
Yeah, Ottardo already had it in his eye.
Yes, that too. All right, but between the two of you, like I said, it does take some teamwork because the mechanism is so odd, and unsynchronized between the levers. But between the two of you, with a crit success and a regular success, you managed to get this going fairly quickly. So it takes you just an hour. And yeah, no, I think you do some really good work here, and you want to take it up?
Well, I guess at least for a test ride.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Ottardo and Bark explained to Sandy and Soma like how they should pull on the levers. That it's like, there's kind of like a rhythm to it. You got to go like ding 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 ding, as it like slowly goes clink 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 clink, going up the chains into the shaft and further up. And it's rattling, and it's screeching and definitely a noisy endeavor, but you make it all the way up to the devil's level with no incident. And from there, I think with the known paths, you can make it out of the vaults and the Gauntlight
Actually,
keep.
Yeah. While we're still there, we could try to spend another hour trying to activate the portal in the hell level.
Do you actually have someone who can do that now
Well-
that Lucca's gone?
Well, Soma has the notes to perform the ritual, and it's just Lucca was better at occultism.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go back and take a look at that. that portal? Something weird happened to my foundry right now. Try this to refresh. Yeah, but I mean, if you want to try it, you're welcome to do it. I would just remind you that aiding had this weird mechanic because it's a ritual. You might be better off not aiding because a success would just not make a difference. Only critical successes make a difference. And a regular failure imposes a penalty. So if I recall correctly, it just made more sense to not help for, which is weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they actually fixed that in the remaster. I'm not sure. But let's see.
Okay, so I'll just go with occultism, right?
So you would want to go with the main role.
Well, unless Bark is better at it.
I don't know about that stuff. I don't mess around with that. That's shady stuff.
Give me a second here while I'm figuring this out. So we are... Okay, so this is that level. Now let's find out the rank, spell rank. Okay, oof. 15, 23. Yeah, they are serious about it. It always seems way too high to me, but okay. So let's try it. Okay, you attempt to reactivate it, but you fail, and the magical backlash leaves you stupefied 1 for 24 hours, but I don't think that it actually increases your stupefied condition, so it doesn't make a huge difference, but it is a waste of time.
Well, it was worth a try, I think. Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah, and at least nothing worse happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another hour, let's say. And then you head back to Watari. How do you spend the rest of the day?
Complaining, I suppose.
About anything in particular?
I think first things first, Somo will go to the temple and start asking Wendy if she can help out her with her doomed condition.
The doomed condition, well, I believe Vandy is gonna inspect you and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's just gonna recommend a good night's rest. Yes. You know, don't try to think too hard about impending end of Absalom or Otari or all of your friends. Just get a good night's rest. It'll be fine.
Oh well. And this mental fog, will it go away too? I mean, it's not connected to it, but like it's really like wasn't very convenient back when we tried to cast spells, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess let's see what happens.
Are there even any spells that remove stupefy?
Hang hang on. Where did that come from?
It's from listening to the voices in the grotto.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Vandy looks at you and says, like, I mean, do you really want to spend your gold on donations? And you should really take the day off. Look at you. You're exhausted. You're not thinking straight. Just get some rest, really. Take my professional opinion.
Soma is grateful, but and she will also remark like, well, come on, Wendy, like her money spent on you are not spent in vain. It's okay, it'll be fine.
I appreciate that, of course, and if you want to support the library, I'm not going to keep you from doing so. But just as a friend, I think that you should really get some rest.
Yeah, well then I guess we will listen to the professional opinion.
What are you guys doing?
I was thinking about trying to do some crafting, so I was just trying to review the crafting rules.
Okay. Let's see what works. I'm gonna grab a book for that. I would think that they're GM4.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm finding on Archive of Nethys is basically you supply half the materials. Because I have the formula, it is just 1 day for me to prep and make the roll. But then there's like multiple days more that you have to wait, and you can speed that up by spending more gold, which almost seems to feels like it kind of defeats the purpose.
Well, I guess it's more of a thing when you otherwise couldn't get the item. It's still
I guess so. Yeah.
And crafting, it was never meant to, support a fantasy economy. Make an item. 236. But yeah, what were you thinking about? What kind of item did you?
I was just trying to stock up on some medicinal things that I don't want to prepare every day, but that might be useful. Emetic paste, surging serum, bottled catharsis, stuff like this.
Sounds nice.
To help get rid of various conditions. But honestly, I don't even think... I mean, I don't know if you guys want to pull money from the pool for crafting purposes, but I can't even afford the ingredients to make a lot of this stuff at a level that would actually make it useful.
Well, I mean, I think the party pool now has plenty of cash to spare, so I don't think Soma would object to such proposition.
And I think we also have quite a bit of stuff that can be sold.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, would you guys rather have something to help get rid of sickened or something to help get rid of stupefied?
Oh, gee, I wonder what, huh?
Or perhaps the clumsy or enfeebled conditions? I feel like we don't run into that much.
You need to spend 2 days of work setting up.
Or 1 day if you have the formula, which I do have.
Oh, okay.
Well, in theory, I can remove enfeebled with the sound body spell.
Okay.
But I mean, stupefied was really, really, really bad.
It's really bad for casters. Yeah. We might maybe he'll focus on that one. I mean, the thing that kind of sucks with these items is it's not even a guarantee. It's just a counteract roll with, a modifier, which is like, you put all that effort into making it, and then it's like, well, it might not doing anything. But
Yeah. That is weird.
I think I also take a chance to finally claim Soma's reward from the mayor, which I hope to be the greater entertainer flute. Not flute, a lute.
Greater entertainer flute? A lute?
Yes, it's 8th level object, which I believe is within our limits of the reward.
Is that what I said? Seems
I think
high.
if it's
11?
not, if it's not, I will take it back.
Let me see.
I was under the impression it was 7 or lower.
7th?
Yeah, I think it was 7. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's a bummer.
11 would be higher than you are, so that seems excessive. Let me find it though.
Well, I mean, it's well, this one is 8, so. I was just under the impression it was equal to the character level.
Yeah, but you're not level 11, are you?
No, it's
The item is 8, he says.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still looking for the info here. There we are. Okay. Receive an item of 7th level or lower.
well, okay, then I will replace it with an ordinary entertainer flute.
Mm-hmm. A lustrous lute. Changes to show whatever decoration area. You get a +1 bonus to diplomacy and performance, and you can cast a spell. Infectious enthusiasm, bless, and ventriloquism.
I was kind of hoping a little bit for heroism, but well, I think we can live without it.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to do today?
Nope, just rest.
All right. Then we can skip ahead by a day. And the next morning, you all feel much improved. The stupefied condition, I mean, let's say over the course of the morning, it starts to fade out. I don't want to go exactly up to the exact moment because it's supposed to stay for 24 hours. But yeah, by then it is removed. The drained condition, I believe, goes down by 1.
Yeah, if you use the sleep for the night macro, it takes care of drained
Okay.
and the other one, drained and doomed.
Nice. Yes. So you feel, like I said, much improved. And Soma the stupefied is gone at some point during this day. So what's next?
Well, going back to face more rude denizens.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Where do you want to go?
Although before we go, I think Soma will stash Whispering Reeds in the party stash, the book, so she wouldn't hold it with her all the time.
It is a heavy book to haul around.
Yep. And with the new loot, I'm exactly at my encumbrance.
Sorry, can you say that again? doing some bookkeeping for Sandy.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
going. I was going to say that Soma will just leave the evil cursed book behind in her chest in the crook's nook.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Where
Yeah,
do
I
you
think
want
I'm
to
good
go?
too.
I think we can go straight to the same spot. Take down the elevator.
Okay. Once again, you make your way into the Gauntlight Keep and then down through the network of teleporters as far as you can. Descend to the Devil's Lairs and take the elevator that apparently hasn't moved since yesterday. And once again, it rattles and trembles and screeches its way down to the docks where you disembark.
Is the cage Ottardo is next to empty now?
It is empty, yes.
Okay, I don't remember, but I think they released some creature from it during the fight.
Yeah, I was thinking
No.
they will release other people from there, more of their number.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a door down here that stands
Oh, I did
open.
not notice that. Oh,
Well, I didn't see the door.
yeah. Well, let's check that.
Okay. So you head on down and find a surprisingly well equipped game room. There are four. Well, I guess somebody needs to bring a light. There we go. There are four small reclining couches that circle a small table toward the corner of this L-shaped room. And on the table, there's an elongated game board split into rows of squares. There's a couple of pieces sitting in place on the board and a pyramid-shaped dice that are scattered about the surface.
Board games, huh?
I am not. I don't feel guilty about interrupting them.
You know, I never really pegged those undead for the board game sort. You know, I guess everyone has their hobbies. It just goes to show you can't always judge someone by their appearances, you know?
Well, I guess if someone is stuck down here for as long as they are, even undead will find hobbies.
Yeah, I mean, look at that Augrel fellow that I met for all of 5 minutes. He seemed to have a real thing for reading. You wouldn't think that just from looking at him.
Well, yeah, but he was a peculiar guy all around, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stand on ceremony or someone going to open that door?
Well,
Yeah,
Sandy.
I'll make Sandy do it.
Well, he's the one in front of it.
Classic dog move to complain that somebody else should open the door.
Bark goes up and paws at the door.
So
Ooh.
there's a hallway that connects to this room, and that basically across there's another door, but it's clearly locked with what looks like a fairly complicated lock.
I think it's about time for me to stretch my fingers. Yesterday was a very bad day, and it maybe if I do something about it, it will help me out.
And
All
while
right.
Soma does that, could you, Simon, pop back up Sandy's health?
Can I what pop back up?
Top up the health for Sandy.
Let
I
him
think
rest. Let him rest.
Oh, I did.
I
27 hit
think when
points.
no, I think when you rested, it took off drained, which limits the maximum hit points. But it did not replenish those hit points. It's like just not in the right order.
Well, it says 27 hit points restored. Does he get back to full health?
He should get back to whatever the maximum he has drained. Well, no. He still recovers like the way you normally would when resting.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So
but we I assume we spend the evenings together, and Ottardo would patch up
Ah,
the remaining
okay.
wounds.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay. Soma. So you get to work. Hang on a second here. Oh, Sandy doesn't have a downtime activity right now. I'm gonna have him scout. But besides that, what is Soma doing? So is detecting magic. Okay. So I would think that you cast. I mean, if this is your downtime activity, I would think that this is probably something you would do before trying to
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, right. So let me see here. What is there new? Give me a second. Yeah. So you notice some magic on this lock because of your detect magic that you do cast routinely. And that's all you get, right? Because you receive no information beyond the presence or absence of magic.
Okay, so
I think even telling you that this on the lock is already too much. You basically just notice magic.
so so nowadays I should have also read aura to know specifically, right?
Yep, but I assume you need to cast that first.
Well, I don't actually have that spell anyway, so.
Oh, okay. I mean, you don't know if it's coming from the door. Could be coming in from anywhere in this area, but somewhere in this area there's magic.
Mm-hmm. Well, the door is not going to unlock itself anyway, so I think at this point someone will just ask everyone to, well, okay, guys, just in case if it is some sort of magical trap, please stand behind me, or, well, stand over there, so like.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. And?
Be over here with the game board.
Everybody piles back into the game room.
No.
Closes the door.
No, don't close the door. You need to pull me out if something happens. Yeah. And, well, then they will try to open the door then, to pick the lock.
And as soon as you touch it with your tools, an hourglass-like glyph starts to glow on the lock itself for a brief moment, and then it fizzles out, and there's a deafening explosion of fire. Yeah, you can give me a reflex save. It spills into the room.
Oops. Sorry, guys.
I think it still gets everyone. It's a fireball going off.
Wow.
So I think
Does it wrap around corners? I thought is it an emanation?
it doesn't have to wrap really. It's just a 20-foot burst. Let's see. 20 foot.
Like Ottardo is almost directly behind the wall.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ottardo is seems to be safe. But it looks like it's gonna still spill into that corner where Birke is, given the distance and the angle. And Sandy as well. Yeah, that's a good time to hero point, yes. Nicely done. Very also nicely done. And Dick fails. That's a regular failure. So third level. I unfortunately didn't put the actual spell in here, so I'm just gonna have to roll the damage like a caveman. 24 is the regular damage, so Soma, you take half until you can further reduce, unless you can further reduce it. Bark, you take no damage, and Sandy takes full 24.
Bark ducks behind the sofa. Does not grab stick in time.
Right, and Stick takes regular damage as well.
Now I'm
Dick!
curious if I actually can.
Well, you find your face badly burnt. Your thieves' tools almost melted, but at least the trap's gone. Probably, right?
Yep.
Souma, you're okay?
Yeah, so we'll cough out a bit of smoke and say, "Toasty!" Yeah, it's funny that I've picked my oracle dedication as a mystery of flames, and well, here you go.
All right, so you can give it a try if you want to. Still. Yeah, like I said, it looks pretty tricky, and you're just probably still shaken from having a fireball go off in your face.
Yep.
I force feed fruit from my cornucopia to Stick.
Can't you just plant him in there? Yeah, well, it's in 10-minute increments, right? Yeah. We're doing it. Or
I believe
picking.
that's how it goes. One action.
No? Oh, so I can just keep doing it.
It is a two-action thing. It's determined by the complexity, locks of higher qualities, if you like the proper tools. Yeah, no, it's just two actions.
Alright, so we'll just fiddle with it some more. Since nothing explodes anymore, thankfully.
Let me check here because crit failure has an effect, so I need to make sure. Are you using the macro?
Well, I'm clicking on your callout and
Yes,
well, it's not
yes,
critical
that's-
failure, it's normal failure, so my picks should be more or less okay.
Yes, okay. Yeah, but you can keep going if you want to.
Well, great, now I jinxed it.
And you break your tools.
Well, I did everything I could, guys. It's impossible. So,
Well, do you want me to give it a try? Says Sandy.
Oh, sorry. I didn't leave any fruit for you, Soma. I'm sorry. I fed it all to Stick.
It's like eating popcorn while watching Soma
Yeah.
fail spectacularly. And
Yikes.
unlocking the- So what do you think? Do you want me to give it a little nice little push?
absolutely. When everything else fails, somebody should just use an axe.
All right. Sandy moves over there, and he like looks it up and down, puts his hand on it, pushes just a tiny little bit, feels around, knocks on it a little bit. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Cracks his neck and gives it a shove. And boom! The door splinters and smashes open with Sandy kind of like tumbling inside right after the door into this little chamber. And as soon as the door like hits the floor, it just stirs up dust. It is very dry, the air that comes spilling out of there, which is almost a relief given the the fetid humidity that's everywhere else, for the cloying humidity from that lake nearby. But what's a little unsettling is that at the western end, there's a stone slab 3 feet high, and atop lies a small body covered in funeral wrappings. So Sandy kind of like stumbles inside, following the door that he kicked in, catches his balance, looks around, coughs a little bit, and then a voice calls out from those funeral wrappings, and it calls out in a language that still none of you speak. And then Sandy just lets out, what? Who's talking there? Who's this? And then it switches to common, and the voice sounds slightly muffled as it calls out, "You're too soon. My transformation is not yet complete, but no matter. I'm still one of the most powerful demi-liches this world has ever seen." And the
Ooh, the village.
and the whole thing on the stone slab, the whole thing starts moving like and halfway rolls off the platform, and then out of those bandages burst a couple of arms that look very much like those gnome arms. The desiccated dry flesh hanging from the bones, and it is going to attack. So there's initiative coming up. Let's go. I'm gonna roll for everyone. Begin encounter. Roll initiative. And Bark, you are actually going to be the first one.
Damn. You know, I took incredible initiative on this guy, which I never do, but I didn't expect it to mean I'd be going first like almost all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Bark doesn't hear much from the other room, but he hears Demi-Lich. It's like, well, that's an abomination against nature and the natural cycle of life and death. And he is going to. Where's Ottardo? Am I standing on him?
No,
Nope.
he's down the
He is
hallway.
in the
He's
corridor.
down the hall. Okay. I guess the first thing I'll do is step forward to see what's going on. I can't see any enemies. So, is this a, I guess I'll raise my shield and cast Protect Companion for now, because I really have no idea what's happening. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Soma.
Well, Soma will brandish her brand new weapon of war, which is her magical lute, which is now no longer summoned from thin air, but is actually lovingly crafted by fellow bards and made specifically to serve a purpose, to play the combat music. So that she will turn it on. Let's turn on the Inspire Courage. How sweet to be able to cast spells without the brain fog. Yeah, it just rolls right off your tongue, like a stream of consciousness going through your fingers to the strings and filling the air. Ah. And now, the power of Rastil compels you, and I will just Vitality Lash this guy.
Okay. Trying to save, but crit fails.
Ooh.
Is that regular? Yeah, I guess you can only roll damage,
Yeah,
so it
that's
takes
regular,
double
yeah.
that damage. Ooh, that hurts and burns, and it goes. It's still muffled because the whole head is wrapped in in bandages still, only the arms are showing. And that's your turn?
Yes.
Ottardo.
Ottardo will yell, "A lich, quick! Kill it again!" Oof. So he does not enter his stance, and after that he will advance on the creature. Oops.
Oh, and sorry, I forgot. Soma, please make that save, and Ottardo also make that save. As you approach the thing, you notice once again that feeling of your throat filling up, your lungs filling up with water. That's what it feels like. And you have to hold your breath. And Soma, that technically negates your spell, but let's say that you do that after you cast your spell. Okay, Ottardo. Holding your breath, you move in and you slam the flick mace into the pile of bandages, and you connect. There is a body in there of some kind, and you do some damage to it. And then it's the creature's turn, and it's still like reeling from that vitality lash, and it angrily rips off the bandages around its skull. And you see that it is indeed another one of those gnomish mummy whatever things, but this one has placed gemstones in its eyes. And as it like yells out, you see that it has replaced its teeth with smaller gems. And into his head in multiple places, it has drilled holes and lodged what looks like a crown of crystals in there. And it's just really mad about the intrusion and says, "You dare disrupt my transformation! You shall all die! Burn!" And then it will do something. I'll start with Ottardo. And it casts a spell at you. Please roll that fortitude save. As your vision begins to flicker, it's like darkness creeping in from the edge of your field of view, but you do manage to. Nope. And then it kind of robs you of sight entirely for now. And that's its turn. 2 actions. Well, that's not true. 2 actions. It has a third action left. So then it's going to punch Ottardo. Hitting. Ooh, yeah, indeed. So you lose sight, and then you feel like a weirdly dry fist punch you in the mouth. And I'm gonna need you to make this fortitude save. Boring. And then it is Sandy's turn. Sandy's gonna have to make his save against that weird feeling of drowning, but he crit succeeds, and he says, "Ha! I will cut your transformation short," he says, and steps forward. Okay, I've never seen or played a barbarian, so let me catch what I need to do here. So I'm gonna become enraged, I guess, which looks like it's a free action. Wow, okay. And then I can sudden charge. So I dash up to the foe and swing. Do I need to do that? Because it is 2 actions. I guess there's no point in doing this. It's just because it's not that far. But it also doesn't mean a penalty. So okay, never mind. It's just gonna step up, target the thing, and then try to strike it with its maul, which he succeeds to do. And then he hits it for 37 points of damage. Bam! That was 2 actions. And then with a third action, he's going to try to swing again, but misses. All right, Bark.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'm also going to need you to make that save.
I guess we'll step in. Or stride, I suppose, so you can actually see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do a vitality lash.
Can you do
follow-
that save first? Because it might affect your spell
Oh.
casting. Oof.
I'm gonna hero point that.
All right.
That's not much better.
Well, a little bit. Yeah, you move in and you get ready to cast a spell, maybe using some sort of verbal component, but it's like there's just this gargling sound as it feels like water is filling your lungs and you're unable to speak or breathe.
Okay. Well, that will make casting a spell a problem.
It's technically the very first thing you would do in the round, so if you want to take that movement back, you're welcome to do it. I don't know if it makes a difference.
I mean, I'd rather at least be able to see what we're fighting. Ottardo looks like he's disabled by something, right? He's
Yeah,
blinded.
he's like just, looking around with eyes glazed over.
I don't think I have anything that can help against blindness. I don't want to drop protector tree yet. I'm once again going to go defense and just raise my shield. And I can't even cast Protect Companion because I can't speak, so I'll just raise shield and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Souma.
Well, it is becomes very complicated. But yeah, I want to argue that I think I can actually cast my composition cantrips because I only need to play my music to do that.
So, what do you do?
Well, I think I will, with first action, I will continue to inspire courage.
Okay.
Which, I mean, technically that should reduce my air capacity by 2 rounds. Because it's still casting a spell. And with my next 2 actions, Soma will rummage through her pockets and try to fix it somehow, because she will produce a bottle out of her pocket, uncork it, and try to drink it. So, will that help her or not?
You try, but it doesn't make a difference because it's not that there's no air around you, it's that your lungs are filling up with water. So pouring more air into them doesn't have any effect. But you get to roll a save again.
That's not very good. That's not
And
good at all.
you continue to essentially drown as you have to keep holding your breath. So I guess we actually need to track this now. You can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 5 plus your con modifier. What's that?
+2.
So you have 5 rounds left, what you're saying?
I believe so. So, last time it was, maybe it's even 4 rounds, because last round I had to hold the breath, and now I spend 2 rounds to cast a spell. So yeah, maybe it's 4 rounds.
Yeah. Okay. So you have, I think 5 rounds is, 4 rounds is right. Yeah. All right, Ottardo. The blindedness disappears. The world comes back.
Sight comes back, and there's still the. Did you? Yeah, it is sort of a mummy. We saw it emerging from bandages. Yeah, the mummy is here. Well, he's going to try to strike the mummy. Miss it once, miss it twice, and then he'll raise his shield.
Okay. So you're also holding your breath, right? I lost track of that, but I think you
I
also
think he had
failed your
critical
save.
success now.
I
No,
guess
you did.
that
You
was-
succeeded. I see it up here.
Yeah.
You succeeded. Okay. Okay. Then it's the mummy's turn, and it says, "You're just like the rest of them. You just don't. You have to trust the process. Sometimes it takes a little longer." And it's gonna doesn't really have any great spells to fight in close quarters. So I will target one creature, but which one? I guess Sandy, because he's done the most damage. It tries to. Oh, come on. Yeah, it tries to conjure an arrow of acid, but it just kind of like splashes against the wall harmlessly. That was 2 actions, and then with its 3rd action, it frustrated.
Was that a spell?
That was a spell.
Because I believe Sandy has
He does
reactive
have
strike.
reactive. Yes. All right. Thanks for reminding me. And he goes and strikes, but misses. Okay, and then the mummy thing punches back and actually hits for 24 points of damage.
And Ottardo uses his reaction for 11 points of resistance.
Okay.
I think you hit the wrong guy here for 24.
What?
You damaged the mummy for 24 instead of Sandy.
Okay, so 13. And you try to hit. That's a hit. Oh, I see. That's already the damage. For 13 damage. And some persistent damage on top of it. Okay. What was I doing?
That was 3rd action, I believe.
Yes. Okay. Gotcha. So you were just responding to your buddy being hit. That's why that triggered. Okay. That's pretty bad. Let's see what the persistent damage is. 4, and then recovery. No recovery. Bad. Sandy goes, "Ha! That's what I call a tag team." And then he strikes and misses and misses and misses. Great job, Sandy. And Bark.
Do I get my save again?
Yes, at the end of your turn.
Oh, at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going to do nothing but raise my shield because I don't have that many rounds of holding my breath, so.
Okay, so it ticks down 1. Souma. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. You do get your save. All right, ticks down 1. Souma.
I think Soma will do the same thing, except she will actually not going to do anything. She will just concentrate on holding her breath.
Okay, so you. All right. That's another save then. Ooh, also goes down 1. And Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo will focus on the mummy and then raise his shield.
Okay. That's a first one was a hit. Second one was a miss. Okay. All right, and then it is the mummy's turn. Hang on here for a second. Um, spells. Didn't actually. Oh, I didn't actually cast it last time. So now it's out of the list. What else is back here? No, not really any offensive stuff. So I guess it's just frustratedly gonna start flailing its fist at Sandy. Oh, look at that. And through the power of sheer frustration, it lands a critical hit.
Ottardo will use his reaction again.
Mm-hmm. Healing 11. I think, or protecting 11. And striking the creature for 14. Okay. And then the creature does its second attack. Hitting Sandy for 18. And a third attack. Missing. Okay, let's see the persistent damage. 4 points of persistent. And still not recovering. All right, Sandy getting punched multiple times. This is getting personal here. He still raging, strikes the thing. Oof. There we go. That looks more like it. And that should be the end of it. 56 points of damage. Yeah, he just, with a enraged, furious roar, he slams the thing against the wall using his maul in a broad swipe that crushes the creature's skull. All of those gemstones that were lodged in there just kind of pop out, clunk, 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 roll over the floor, and Sandy just for a few more moments, like, finally calms down and calmly picks up some of the gemstones.
Right.
But as soon as the thing goes down and its unnatural existence is ended, your lungs clear up, Souma and Birke, and you cough up a little more sewer or swamp sludge, but eventually you're fine.
So
That's 40 XP for everyone. And feel free to loot that gemstone-studded skull. You should be able to grab some stuff off the...
Shall we just shove it directly into the stash?
Well, I mean,
Wait,
technically
wait
we
a
still have
second.
to carry it, and so we can shove it into the Lucca's sleeves of storage.
24 stones that are 109. Oh, they're silver pieces, damn it. Got me.
Yeah. And it's already the total sum.
I see 146 gold pieces total.
Yeah.
Damn, that's expensive quartz.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of very pretty stones. And
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Good job, you two. I certainly wasn't any help in that fight, but you two look like you've got some serious skills. And you too, Soma.
Huh? Yeah, sure. My skills at not drowning have been polished by generations of Avirakan bards. Well, I mean, there have been only like 2 generations, but well, they're still good skills.
This guy thought he could turn himself into a demi-lich, huh?
Does that work? Is that how you just shove gems in your eyes and
Well,
you turn into one?
well, at least
not how it works for
every
this little lich.
every dim lich that I've heard of had the gems shoved in its eyes, so maybe it is part of the process.
I always thought that the gemstones kind of manifest like naturally. I didn't realize that you actually have to like surgically insert them.
Also, given the dust in this chamber, you would assume that nobody has been in here and that this thing hasn't moved in like a really long time.
I feel like
So maybe
somebody told him that as like a joke, and he just took it way too far.
Maybe.
Mm. But then again,
Quite
this guy already
possible.
was an undead, so who knows what was going through his rotted mind.
Is this
My
guy?
maul went through his rotted mind. Ha ha. Sandy Ravage.
It's just taking us back. Can I open this door?
Yep, it's unlocked. You can open it, and you look back into what looks like it's going to connect back up to that beach. But in that corner down there, as soon as you open it and your light falls in, it reflects off some bony bits and pieces of another skeletal Hulk, who immediately starts like rattling its cage. Let's see if it just kind of lucks out at a. No, it doesn't. So no immediate danger that it might be able to free itself, but the other one eventually did. So
Well,
I don't think we need to stick around.
yeah. Let's take maybe a little breather here.
Oh,
Could
sure.
use
Good idea.
some time to patch up, and Ottardo will use his
Yeah.
magic and then refocus for 10 minutes.
Sandy Sandy plops in a chair, looks at the game. Anyone know how to play?
Do you know how to play?
No, that's why I'm asking. Then he
Um,
pushes around the little pieces that are on the board, which are actually, nicely colored pebbles. Not particularly valuable, but somebody put some effort into it. The game board, though, he like runs his fingers over it and he says, "Oh, this actually looks kind of nice." Oh, thank you.
Anybody care for some fruit salad?
Sure, I'll have some.
There you go. 39 points of healing.
No,
And then I'll refocus again.
that's good
Like,
stuff.
It's you eat all of it, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
technically it can be split up, so it doesn't all have to go to one person. Like one person could eat 2 pieces of fruit, another person could eat 3. So if Sandy is topped off after eating, I don't know, like a few pieces, then the rest of it could go to someone else.
Well, I suppose we could split it then, because I mean, it's about 12 hit points for Soma to be completely healed.
Yeah, it's yeah, so if you take like 2, I think you guys were both high enough that you could probably top off both. Well, I guess we've seen everything there is to see around here.
Yeah, I guess we have to just go check up that door to the left that we missed at the beach.
Out of character, I think the dice board is valuable in some way, but Bark has no interest in it.
Soma doesn't want to touch it. I mean, Soma is decked out in bling with like mithril bracelets. Like, she's not starved for money right now, so she's cool.
Okay. Damn wall. Let's see. So back to this door.
Yeah,
Yes.
you move over there, and it's not really a door as much as it looks like a makeshift barricade of wood and iron straps. And the bar has some words written on it that Ottardo, you can read them. They're written in Gnomish, and they say, "Danger! Do not open." The barricade has clearly been broken down and rebuilt many times. It looks pretty sturdy.
Ah, so they are gnomes. Or were gnomes.
Well, there were gnomes around at some point.
What do you think? Shall we tear this down?
Well, when was the last time we ran away from danger?
Mm-hmm.
It probably happened like a couple of days ago, right?
Well,
Let's see. You know, I don't know. This is haven't had a good opportunity to do this, so why don't you take it down most of the way, and then let me know when you think you're almost done.
okay, well, I guess Ottardo and Sandy are gonna get started on that.
All right, you swing your maul and your flick mace, and you hammer it down. You wedge the stuff out of that little cave entrance, and after just a little bit of work, maybe like 10 minutes, you feel like you've created a spot where you can get some leverage to pop it all the way out.
Bark?
Yeah, I'm going to cast a spell that has a 1 minute casting time, which is why I wanted to do it in advance, called Entwined Roots. And I will target the four of us plus Stick, so that we are covered in slithering roots and vines, which gives you a flexible protection. Resistance 5 to bludgeoning and piercing. And if we get shot at with arrows, I think it snatches them.
Okay.
And yeah, so you can take the Entwined Roots effect and put it on. At the very least, it's resistance 5, bludgeoning, piercing.
Yeah, that's good. All right, and I guess we'll do the last of it.
Oh, wait. Until ready. Okay, yeah, so you pop the last little bit out, and the way is clear. More natural stone cavern ahead. Let me.
Oh.
Here. All right, so you move into the cavern. I guess that let's take a round off that duration, and you come into. Hang on. Why can't I process? There you go. You come into this cave that just seems to end here. It's a very much a natural looking cave. There are some stalagmites and stalactites, and nothing seems to be really out of the ordinary. So you're kind of curious why they had put up this big sign.
Place does look like a dead end.
Wait a second. Let me get set up. Okay, that actually works really well. Okay. So yeah, so you look around, you let your light source shine over all of the rocks in the far end of the cavern, and you feel like there's got to be something here, maybe some kind of treasure. Maybe there's a creature hiding somewhere here. You strain your eyes to see anything, but there's nothing. It all just looks like rock and stone. And then something happens. Okay, so that's really the reach. Okay. So you look around with your light source. Wait, what is your light source, Ottardo, actually, right now? What is it?
It's the from the Wayfinder. It's the light spell.
Right, but what did you cast it on? Like, what is
Oh,
actually?
his armor.
Okay, so your armor. All right.
Yeah.
So, literally in shining armor. So you're moving around, and trying to see anything that could explain why they had this sign up, and you don't. And then you see something weird moving, and at first you think like, oh man, is this some kind of snake? And you see this very thin, like, strand or tendril running along the ceiling of the cave, and you follow where it's going, and you can see it just move and twitch just a tiny little bit, and it makes you feel very uneasy as you realize that there are a couple more of those. There's actually, and you quickly notice there are a total of 6 of them, and you trace them back to what you thought this whole time was just a simple stalactite. But as you put everything together here, you realize that this is some kind of ambush predator, but it's a little too late because it has already set up its trap. So it gets to make a strand strike, which with each of its strands, and each attack must be against a different target. These attacks count toward its multiple attack penalty, but it doesn't increase until after all the attacks. So it has 6 of those strands, and it has 50-foot reach with them. So it gets to make an attack against each of you with full bonus. So Ottardo gets hit. And it's not painful. I guess you just notice that it like starts creeping over your armor. But you are enfeebled 1 and grabbed as it quickly wraps itself around you. Like at first it's very slow, and then as soon as it touches you, it just kind of goes snaps around you. That was you. Now let's do the others. Sandy also becomes enfeebled 1 and grabbed. Bark
Can reach that
also
far.
Bark is gonna
50-foot reach.
wooden double that.
Oh, can you do that before your initiative comes up?
Oh, it is a reaction, so I guess not.
Yeah.
No, then no. All right, so you're also enfeebled and grabbed. And then finally, Soma. I would assume Stick is in a pocket or something, so it's not immediately obvious that there's another creature, right?
I mean, he just kind of trails along behind me.
Okay, well then it would also get targeted. And actually misses the tiny little stick. But everybody else gets wrapped up in these strands. So that was 1 action for it. And now it uses 2 actions to start pulling all of you towards it. It rolls a single athletics check and compares the result to each creature's... Wait, what?
Wait.
Why does Bark take damage?
Yeah, what about my damage? Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. The damage. There's no damage.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I took damage. I thought you said damage.
No, it's no damage. It's just the attack roll.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so when you're grabbed, are you also immobilized? Or I'm not sure. Yes, you are. Okay. So, what is this? Okay. It'll compare the result to each of your fortitude DC. So if you could just look up your fortitude DC, because I'm only going to roll once, and then you're going to need to tell me if I beat it or not.
That is a success for Ottardo.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a success for everyone.
Yep.
Okay. So then it succeeds in
It's a
pulling
critical
all.
success for me if that makes a difference.
Well, it could pull you from even further away, but you're all close enough so that it quickly like yanks on those ridiculously thin but super strong little strands, and it just holds you all in, like that, and this, and that. Let's put you here. Nope. It stays where it is. It's on the ceiling, by the way, if that's not clear.
How high up is it?
Not very high. It's like 10-foot high ceiling here, I think. So
Okay.
everything should be within reach. All right. So now that you're all close to it, on that stalactite, this large toothy maw starts to open up, and right under that maw, a single eye opens up, and you realize that you're dealing with some sort of really weird creature here. All right, Bark, you're way too close to it for comfort. You are currently grabbed. What do you do?
When you're grabbed, that has some effect on casting, right? You might
Yeah, if you hover on it, you should be
Yeah.
able to see it. Yeah, there it is.
a manipulate action while you're grabbed. DC 5 flat check. Okay, well he's gonna attempt to cast a spell, so he'll make the flat check. And he is gonna throw down the protector tree. Since we're all dangling in the air, I'm gonna put it right below this thing.
Are we lifted off of our feet?
Are we hanging or not?
No, it's the cave is not high enough that it would have to pull you up. Like everyone is within everyone's reach.
Okay. Can I put the tree on the ground below this thing?
Yeah.
Like right in this square?
Yeah.
Then it's adjacent to all of us.
That works.
Okay. So that's what I would like to do for 2 actions, and then as a third, I will raise my shield.
Okay.
I think Stick is technically all the way back here since he didn't get grabbed.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo is going to try to break free from this.
So that's an escape action. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. That doesn't look good.
That does not look good. Does that go against its athletics DC?
I think usually yes.
That is not a success. Or
He is going to try again. So this one has a -5 that's not included in the roll.
Also a
25.
failure.
Wow. All right. Well, that was.
And there is an
one
escape
action.
action, by the way. If you want to use it, that'll take care of all the penalties and stuff.
All right. I'll pull it. I'll pull it from my sheet. Last action. I guess he'll raise his shield.
Okay. All right. Sandy goes, let me go. And he once again becomes very, very angry and is going to try to escape as well. Where is the escape action? There it is. Can I pull it on the sheet? Yes, I can. Okay. Target the thing and roll escape. And he probably wants to use his athletics, I would think. Yeah, he's a master of athletics, so let's go for that. But fails.
Ooh.
Try again. Fails again. And last time fails again. And I guess it does not include the map. That was Sandy. Just trying to wiggle himself out of there, but unsuccessfully. Soma.
Well, I think Soma will also first will try to wiggle herself out, if possible with acrobatics check.
Yes, that should be possible, right? You can attempt an acrobatics, yep.
Wow.
And you get free, no longer grabbed, immobilized.
Well, although
and
I've
restrained. And then you can
targeted
stride up
Sandy,
directly. Well, that
but
doesn't help.
yeah, but in the 20, I think it counts.
Oh, wait, but you went against Sandy Ravage, which is not actually the DC. The actual DC, however, is... So it's just not a crit success, but you're still good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think wasn't the 20 like bumps the success grade anyway, no?
Yes, but if it's not a crit success, then... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is. You're right, yeah.
Alright. Well, anyway, Soma will plump back to the floor and try to roll behind Ottardo as her second action. And let's activate the inspirations music.
Hang on here. As you move, another one of the creature's little strands lashes out. Try and strike, but misses. You're lucky.
That's
Get to
good.
move.
All right.
Was that your turn?
Yeah. Let's. But no. I still have one action to cast inspiration. I think let's do the lingering spell with inspire courage. So that should go for 3 rounds.
Okay, so you rally your allies for at least 3 rounds. Added. And make this 3 rounds. Okay, and then it's the creature's turn. It has Bark, Ottardo, Sandy. All of you are so close, and it just starts nibbling, and it is going to try to bite. Yes, did I target the right one? Yes, Sandy gets bitten for 19 points of damage, and then
the tree.
Ottardo,
Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead, Ottardo.
Yeah, Ottardo will react to that. So that's 11 points of resistance.
you can still do that even when you're
Wait,
immobilized.
grab says nothing about oh, maybe immobilized. So immobilized, you can't use actions that have the move trait.
Okay, and this doesn't have the move trait.
No, it's just a strike.
Okay. A little weird, but okay. That's a miss. Okay, but you protect him for 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the tree also interposes to take the damage. I was just checking whether it's an optional thing or not. I don't think you can choose when to take damage and when not to. So the tree takes damage.
Okay. So that probably leaves no damage then. Yep, is at full health.
And how many points was that? 8.
That was actually just 2 points, I think.
Oh,
Because
okay.
wait, is that right? 19? No,
No.
right, you're right. No, because
19
yes,
minus the 11.
8 points. Yes, 8 points. 8 points. All right. So that was the creature's first attempt to bite, and then Ottardo still has enough movement here to bother it. So I would say that it probably wants to restrain you. So you're tied up and can barely move, or a creature has you pinned. You have the off guard and immobilized. You can't use any attack or manipulate actions. Yeah, that's what it wants to do. And it overrides grabbed. So it's gonna try to do that. It'll target Ottardo and then make an athletics check. 25.
That is
Very
a
bad.
failure.
Yeah, that's a very bad roll. And with its third action, it's gonna try to do that again. But that is actually a 26.
26 is a success.
Ooh, okay. So in that case, you are effectively... Wait, does it not? I think it's just the restrained condition that I put on you here. And that should supersede grabbed. Did it manage to do that? Looks like it did. Okay, and that's its turn. Bark.
Yeah, I don't think my odds are good of slipping out of this thing's grasp, so I'm just gonna hit it with some magic. Hopefully I don't get a... E. Okay, let's just do a timber for the time being. That seems
Okay.
Sorry.
Scraping across the cave ceiling.
Yeah, it's just it comes crashing
Ooh,
down. Hang on, I do need to roll the flat check.
Okay.
I succeed. So that 21's a failure. So that is just 16 points of damage.
Okay, yeah. It gets slammed by that tree trunk as it scrapes by. Yeah,
And last action will be to raise shield again.
Okay, Ottardo. You're
Well,
quite
Ottardo can
nearly
only
restrained.
attempt to escape.
All right.
Let's see.
Nice.
That is what you needed here. And you managed to break free completely out of the restraint and everything, because that's how that works.
All right. He will follow up by smiting the creature and then attempting to strike it with -5 and missing.
Ooh.
And you miss. Okay. Sandy. Sandy's going to try to break free. How did you do that, Ottardo?
Just flex real hard.
Okay. Come on, where is it? There it is.
Ooh.
Don't get free, and you can't attempt to escape again. I think I pulled a muscle.
Maybe he should hero
I
point
guess I
that.
can still attack. Right, I guess I can. Reroll and keep the new result. Just a regular. Wait, that didn't really. I rolled a 7. Something went weird here. So I rolled a 7, but his athletics is clearly not 1. So that would make it actually a 25, but that's not enough. Okay, it's a regular failure then. So he can try again. And this is a 20, so now this is a critical failure. And then he's going to try with a swing. Oh, and that should have been at a -10, I realized. So 23 is a miss. All right, Soma.
I have a feeling that this thing will try to attack me, but I will try to cast a spell.
Okay.
So,
To your relief, it does not attack you. To your relief and surprise, it does not attack you as you cast your spell.
That's good. As long as it doesn't regret that. Soma takes her new lute to shoulder, aims with a grip, and starts plucking the strings as fast as she can, unleashing a force barrage at third level.
All right, remember to give me time to apply the damage as it comes in.
That is 2 strikes per one action, and it will be all 3 actions.
Couldn't you just roll them all in one roll?
I'm not sure. It's only one button and one button sends 1 missile.
No, I mean like you could go and do roll 6d4 plus 6.
Yeah, but you never know with like damage reductions and stuff, and I don't want to, you know, use the macros if we have them.
I think I can try to do wait a second, something like this.
Oh, it actually says to combine the damage.
Oh, it does. Yeah, so I would have to consider all of them together.
So, okay, so I'll just do it the old-fashioned way.
No, that's actually the worst way, because the rules say that I have to combine the damage before applying bonuses or penalties, so I actually can't, or I shouldn't take them bit by bit. So does it not give you a macro to just say how many missiles you shoot?
It's 3
Yeah,
actions and 2 missiles. So
if I click on damage, it opens up this dialogue where you should be able to just enter how many you have, right?
It
Or is that not how
doesn't
it
give
works?
me a +1 to those extra dice.
Well, I think that's how it's supposed to work, because it does say you combine the damage before applying bonuses, so that +1 you should be getting it only once per target.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is right. Wait, no.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I
that's
rolled
not-
5 because so like I'll just add another one.
But you should
No,
get
that's not right,
the
because it should be
Yeah.
64 plus 6, plus 7, because each missile is 1d4 plus 1, and then on top of all of them, you should get +1 from Courageous Anthem. So I don't understand. I don't know what you see from your side of the macro, but anyway, for now, I'll just take that damage, and then now I will add another. Oh, right, and there's also this one, and that should now add another 6. But I would ask you to figure out if there's a better way to do this, because it is like doing them one by one does not actually match the rules. All right, but that was 3 actions worth of casting, so then it's the roper's turn, and all of those strands like flying around. wrapped around some of you still. The first thing it does is it's trying to like lash out at Souma, trying to get her. There you go. Enfeebled once again. Each additional hit from a strand increases the enfeebled condition by 1. So yes, you
So
are.
enfeeble doesn't go away when it releases?
No. No.
Okay. All right. Well, Ottardo is going to use his reaction here.
But it's
But I
not doing
guess
damage. You
there's no
only.
damage. Okay. Okay. It's just grabbing. Okay.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so it just lashes out to wrap it around Soma. And that's that action. And okay, so that's that's that. Ottardo is no longer, well, you're grabbed, but you're not restrained. So I guess it's going to be okay with that for now. Acting a lot on instincts here. And then it's going to try to, there you go. It's going to bite Sandy for 60
Oof.
points of damage.
So
Ripping.
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
reduce the 42 points from the tree, and then the tree dies.
Okay.
And then don't forget that he's got the resistance to piercing 5.
Right, and that
It should be accounted by the by the status, I think.
Yeah. Oh, but I didn't actually put that effect on it because I don't think I was able to.
Oh yeah, I don't see the icon on Randy.
Okay, so that's nope, that should have been +5, so +10 now. And then it's 11 from Ottardo, I would assume.
Okay, so yeah, Ottardo will use his reaction and attempt a strike.
Okay, that's a hit. 15 points of damage.
Ooh, you know what?
Persist.
Does Ottardo's ability just reduce the damage by that 11, or does it give him resistance 11?
Let me gains resistance to all damage.
Okay. That doesn't stack with my spell, so.
Okay.
Okay, well, at least he got the strike in.
Yes, you did. Okay, so that was action 2. And now finally action 3 is going to be, now that Ottardo is acting up again, it's going to try to lash out with a athletics check. A -10, so the result should be 18, which is a miss. Cannot restrain you. Okay, Bark.
Bark's keeping it simple.
Appreciate that. Okay, success. It'll try to reflex save, succeed, so it'll take half damage.
7 points.
Okay.
And he's raising his shield.
All right, Ottardo.
Well, and he actually doesn't look too badly injured. I mean, the situation is rough, but no one is really hurt so far. So I think he'll just attempt to strike the creature. Oh,
That's a hit. Wait, did you escape? Shouldn't you be still grabbed? Weren't you grabbed before? You didn't escape, did you?
Doesn't it remove everything? I thought that's what you said.
But
He
yeah, but
critically
I saw that you were still grabbed. That's why I tried to restrain you. I
Oh.
did otherwise. Did you remove
Wait.
that? I don't understand.
No, wait. So at one point, Ottardo was grabbed and then restrained, and then he broke free from the restraint, which you said removed the grab too.
Correct. But I don't know if something happened, but when I just checked what on what move I'm gonna make, I saw that you still had the grabbed condition, so I assumed something had happened that would make you grabbed again. So I guess you weren't grabbed.
Yeah, it wasn't on my sheet.
Okay. Then I must have somehow misread that. In this case, it would have been a strand attack, but that would take similar attack bonus. So it would just be against your AC instead of your athletics DC, but I think that was pretty low, so it wouldn't make a difference. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Never
in
mind.
the 20s, and that would be a miss.
Yeah, okay. All right, so everything's good. And you do 15 points of damage.
And for his last action, he's going to raise a shield.
All right. Sandy is like, this is really getting annoying. And he is going to try and escape by once again flexing as hard as he can, just like Ottardo told him. Using athletics. He fails once, fails twice,
Wow.
and it looks like a success, but it didn't consider the penalty, so this is actually a 30, which is not enough. And then it is Soma's turn.
Well, I think I will just take a page from Bark's
Leaf.
book. Yeah, leaf.
Yes.
and I will cast telekinetic projectile on this thing.
Okay, let's see it. And there goes Soma
okay.
again.
Yeah, and then I will try to cast shield on myself.
Okay.
No, it's not that one. Wait, it's not. You mean I can just? It's not a manipulate action? Huh.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
you're
then-
right. It's
Then I
not.
just do it.
All right. And then it's the Roper's turn. Right. Ottardo is running free, so it doesn't like that. It'll target Ottardo with one of its strands, critically hitting you. So the first thing, let's see there. Can release because you can doesn't do any damage. Okay. So critical hit really only increases. No, it doesn't actually do anything. So it means you're enfeebled 2 at this point, and you are grabbed. Now that you're grabbed, it's going to try with its second action to make this more restrictive on you. So it's a 32.
That is a success.
Okay, so now it has you restrained. And then it will try to munch away at Sandy, because finally, that's all it wants to do is just have a little Sandy snack. And it crit misses. All right, that's its turn. And Bark.
Yeah, Bark
Oh,
isn't
wait.
a
Damage and recovery. Okay, sorry. Now your turn.
Bark's not a huge fan of how long it's taking for this thing to go down. He is going to try to escape.
Okay. More of the snack trying to run away.
Which is, I think he can use acrobatics, right?
Yes.
All right, he's going to use acrobatics. Ooh.
Nice. You get free, remove, and stride up to 5.
I can stride up to 5.
Yes.
I am not going to stride because this thing seems capable of pulling you back anyway. I'm going to use 2 actions to cast this is a reflex. Okay, let's see how this goes. Elemental Annihilation Wave. So he's
Okay.
just going to you feel like a hot breeze surround him, and suddenly there's little burning embers of like leaves and bits of bark, as if a forest fire was whirling around him, and then he just unleashes it at this guy. It is
The wave washes over the thing, which has nowhere to go, and so it fails its save.
All right. Come on.
What?
So 18 points of damage. Not a great roll. But it's a combination of fire and bludgeoning.
Okay. So that is quite effective.
Oh,
Yep. As
what?
the fire washes over it, you can see it like panically swinging all of its little strands around that immediately shrivel up. And...
Oh God, where's Lucca when you need him?
yeah.
Bark's eyes go wide. He's like, "Fire! It doesn't like fire." That's my turn.
Okay, well, you learned something for sure. Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo is going to flex.
Failure on the first one.
He's going to try again. That's another failure. And -10, fail again.
Okay, so you are stuck. Sandy. See, it's harder than you made it sound. Yeah.
Just bash it, kill it.
Okay. And then he awkwardly like tries to move his maul into position and then swings at the thing. Bam.
Wow.
Bam.
Wow.
Bam. It doesn't work that way. This is frustrating. Soma.
Well, let's try to wiggle out as well, because, well, if I don't have spells with fire, but I have fire in my pocket.
So, is that so? Okay. Let's... you wriggle, you jiggle, but you can't get free.
But I mean, but can I actually produce something from my pocket if I take that DC 5 check? Since I'm...
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you get an alchemist fire out of your pocket? All right.
Yes.
So third action, or are you gonna wait until you don't take the penalty?
I guess. I guess so. Yeah, but at this point, our inspired courage ran out. Unfortunately. Well. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have any free hands to recast it. So. Yeah. Let's. Well, no. Let's try escaping again, since that will not hurt anyway.
All right. That'll be a -5. And it's a fail. And then it's the creature's turn, and it does not like being fire damaged, so it'll switch targets here, and it'll just go start munching on Bark, hitting you for 26.
Is that my shield's raised, isn't it? Oh no, I wriggled free and I got no shield. Okay. Ouch, but that should be reduced from magic. Yes, good it is.
Oh, okay. I missed that you're not grabbed anymore. So it bit you for 22, and then it'll lash out with its tendril once again, making you enfeebled 2 and grabbed again. No, sorry, that should have been a 25. But that's not a hit, right?
I
25.
think enfeebled is reducing my AC. So
Yeah,
if
but
it's only enfeebled 1, which is then yeah, that's a miss. 25 is a miss.
okay, so then it will try again with its third attack, which it manages then to connect. Okay, so
Which
now
I'll wooden double.
Okay, all right. So it just all wraps itself around your wooden double, and how again? What did I say? You critically hit. Nice. Oh, it's not a damage dealing effect, but it is a strike, so I guess that's okay. Take a step action. Okay, so yeah, it wraps itself around that wooden block that has roughly your shape, and then quickly notices what it is, and shakes it and drops it onto the cave floor. But that's its turn, and then it's your turn, Bark. Wait, sorry, I keep getting the persistent damage.
Unfortunately, that was the only fire spell that I had prepared.
Oof.
So, I know this thing's gonna have high fortitude, but it's we're not really.
Ottardo will just say, I have a fireball in my pocket.
Bark's like, I don't know what that means.
Not
Sounds
the time
dirty.
to brag.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Sorry. This is my turn. I already moved me back there. Let's do another reflex save since it doesn't seem to be the best at those. We'll cast life draining roots, which shoot out in a line at it.
And it once again has nowhere to go and fails.
All right. So that's 32 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, that's
as
a
these
good one.
these roots erupt from Bark's hands, and they in a tangled cascade, and they puncture through it. Takes the damage. I gain 1d4 temporary hit points for every living creature in the line, and that is just one. So I guess just 1d4 temp. I can't remember ever having temporary hit points.
Yeah, that's
Okay, it's
been a
just
while.
one.
I think it's easy though. You just add it, and then eventually they will disappear after that
Okay.
minute. All right, Ottardo.
Ottardo will attempt to escape.
Ooh, when you succeed, you get free, and you're no longer immobilized and restrained.
All right. And he will spend one action to dig through his belongings, and then one action to use his shiny toy that was provided by the mayor.
Oh, which is?
This thing.
Ooh, the frozen lava of Black Peak. A blueberry-sized bead appears in the sphere of flickering light. Oh, right. Okay. I mean, you can't shape it, so you are going to be in the blast zone.
Yeah, well, I guess Fireball has
20 feet radius.
a 20-foot burst, so I guess if we put it at this corner here.
Gonna catch everyone.
Oof.
Like
Well,
everyone except Stick.
Do it. It's much easier to heal us than it is to kill this thing, apparently. So
well, I guess we can all roll the save.
What? Did you click use?
Oh no, I just went directly for it. If I do that, oh, that's just when you click use, it just says
Ah, gotcha.
Ottardo uses.
Okay. Well, the thing saved. Bark
And
saves. Oma fails. Ottardo saves. Okay, let's see the damage. So it takes half damage, but that's still very painful. But not its end.
and that is Ottardo's turn.
That was a good one. Sandy's. Ottardo, what are you doing? Oh, right. Sandy didn't save. Let me see. Sandy fails and takes the full damage. Where is it? Where is it? Ottardo! And then he's going to try to awkwardly swing at the thing, still trusting in Ottardo's advice. Missing.
Wow.
Yeah,
man,
going really well. Soma.
Well, I guess I'll try to throw my own fireball at it now.
All right. I love how everyone is just willing to set themselves on fire just to end this. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, hang on. So that means I think if you crit miss, that means it doesn't even do splash damage, right? On a crit failure, the weapon or effect misses entirely, dealing no damage. Yep. All you needed was 1 point.
Wow.
You have 2 actions left, though.
I'll try to escape.
Okay. Oh, man. It really feels futile as this thing continues to harass you. Third action?
I'll try it again. But that's
And that's
my
also
understanding, Billy,
a
right?
failure. It's a failure, yeah, because it takes the map. Okay, I think it would even be without the map, but anyway. So then it's the thing's turn. It is getting badly damaged, so I think that what it's going to try to do is just kill as many of you as quickly as it can. That was Ottardo who had that firewall, so that it definitely doesn't like that. It's got to make some damage here, and you're in reach, so it's just going to try to start biting instead of using its strands. And bites you once for 30 points. Misses the second. Bites you a third time, or a second time with its third attack for 25. And then it's Bark's turn. Wait, sorry, I always forget this. It's so good that it does it automatically, though. And it finally succeeds at its recovery check. Bark.
I'm gonna Yikes, I didn't think about that. Do I really want to step back up? I mean, I guess so. It doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna step up and use timber. Try to finish the thing off. Another tree comes falling down, smashing it. It succeeds. It's a basic, so it still takes half. 7 more points.
Okay. That's it?
That's me.
Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo is not restrained, so he will just attempt to end this thing.
Yes, you smash your weapon against the rock-like thing, hurting it for a little bit, and missing spectacularly, and missing spectacularly again. And Sandy just through winces of pain and awkwardness. It's a miss. And ooh, Sandy, do it. 22. And he awkwardly angles his weapon upwards towards the ceiling and smashes that thing into the rock cavern's ceiling. And then as he retrieves his weapon, all of those ropey strands flop down, and the creature starts peeling off the rock and flunk, lands on the ground with a loud thud. And there it is. The very first roper that most of you have probably seen in their lives. That is 60 XP. 6-0.
Thing was tanky.
Yeah. I mean, all this grabbing makes it very awkward.
It really wasted our actions there.
Yep. And then Feebled doesn't help.
Are we still enfeebled? How long will that last?
You are still enfeebled. It lasts
The regular enfeebled goes away after 8 hours, I think.
yeah, this one decreases by 1 every 8 hours.
Yuck. Wow.
Well, I guess it was trying to tell us that this is dangerous in here and we shouldn't open that door.
Yep. I mean, who would have known that those undead gnomes were actually telling the truth for once?
Well, maybe they weren't when they wrote that.
All right. I can try to remove the enfeebled from from Sandy and Sir Ottardo.
Bart
That's
just-
Yeah,
very
you
appreciated.
might want to start with Ottardo then.
Bart just pulls out his dog bowl and starts chowing down.
Mhm.
Ooh. Send a surge of healing energy, attempt to counteract an effect of your choice. I don't see Oh, there it is, enfeebled. All right, counteract.
Yeah, it's at my second level, so it's the weakest one that covers enfeebled.
And you counteract if its counteract rank is 3 or less. This is not a spell effect. Counteracting an affliction, is it? No, it's not. If it's not a spell, it's not an affliction, it's not a spell.
It
So
works sort of the same way. If you don't have a level for the effect that made enfeebled,
half and round up the creature's level. That's what you're saying, right?
yeah.
Okay, so then it is not a success.
Ooh.
Wait, but this is not telling us if it's a success or critical success. The DC is based on the target effects level. So if its counteract rank is 5 because half its level rounded up is 5.
Mhm.
So then I should be able to find the DC somewhere on the simple DC table, is it?
The level based, I would assume.
Level based. Level based DCs. Where are they? Rank, so level 5 would be 20. So this is a critical success. So you counteract because its rank is 5.
No.
What?
That will be the creature's level, not the effects level.
No. It says when attempting a counter check, blah blah blah, against the target's DC, if it's a spell, you say the game can also for spells.
If it's a spell, use the caster's DC. That would work out to closer to
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So then, level 10 is 27. So it's just a regular success, which means you do not counteract the effect. Okay. Don't know why I have such a hard time wrapping my head around the contract stuff. It's just there's so many rank and level and whatever around. Just I guess it's actually better that it's now called rank instead of level because otherwise it would have been even more confusing. Okay, so you try but fail.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, I guess we'll just sit down at least for like 30 minutes or something to massage these bruises.
I suppose, yeah.
Sure, yeah, let's do it. Who's that for? Okay, for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my twined roots will go away if we rest like that. So.
Okay.
That was for myself.
Crit failure. You hurt yourself.
I'm just gonna refocus. Fruit. There's some veggies in there too. It's a nice medley. It kind of changes with the seasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys chill down. I need to fix this bleeding artery that I inflicted on myself.
Hang on. There we go. Who wants 43 hit points?
I think
All right.
Sandy can take that.
Sure, yeah, that's pretty tasty stuff. Thanks, Bart. Hmm.
And I'm assuming Bark would refocus after that.
Yeah, you know what? I think I will spend the next 10 minutes also refocusing.
All right.
Well, are we going to forge onward? I'm assuming so, since we just bothered to heal up.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, where do we go though?
Well, we've not really been around the corner up here. I think there's something over the water.
Just that
W-
stupid lake.
One of those gnomes took one of these gifts to go and ask for help. There's probably more of them beyond the water.
Ugh. Well, it's either that or we go to that room where the cultists were culting, and we have a word with them about that.
Ah, oh, wow. I mean,
I
we
think
can.
I might prefer that, says Sandy, looking out
Uh,
into that thick fog of that fetid lake.
but will you be able to speak with them? They didn't seem to understand us.
They can speak to my maul.
So Sandy appears to be very fluent in the only language which matters, which is violence. Well, that and the wild song, of course. Those are the two languages that matter.
Just to be clear, don't take that as a friendly nudge from your GM. This is just that I think Sandy would actually prefer that.
I mean, I have Lotus Walk prepared again. I could pop it off and just run around the corner and see what's there real quick.
Well, there's no need for you to waste a spell. We can just take one of these boats. No?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just sure. I could take a boat. It's a good idea. Let's take the boat. Hang on, Stick forgot to follow me. Come on, Stick.
Tink, 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 tink. That's really funny. That's a dog creature and has a stick. That just always comes with it. It's fantastic. All right, so you pile into one of the boats, and unfortunately, I don't have a nice boat token, so we're just gonna walk over the water here. I guess you can all squeeze into one if that's what you want to do, but it'll be pretty uncomfortable. Or you can take two boats.
Um, maybe two in case we get attacked by something. It could be easier to maneuver.
Take boat number 2.
Okay.
Uh,
So you start.
maybe Sandy can go with Bark or Soma. You know, it's just split the two of us.
Yeah, so someone will go with Birke, I think.
It's fine. We'll put the casters in one boat, and all the
Exactly.
melees in another.
What can possibly go wrong?
Okay.
What? Is that what we
Fine.
do? Okay.
It doesn't matter. Sure. It
All
doesn't-
right. All right. Just Sandy needs just someone to follow.
Everyone
That's
gets in and out of the boat several times.
exactly. Oh, wrong thing is following Soma. Hang on. Shoop.
My God, it's
Some
not dead.
dragging an undead. Okay, so you start slowly making your way, you know, your oars splashing into the thick lake water, and you make your way down that passage here. To your right are those alcoves, the cliff walls climbing up. You can't really see into the alcoves, even though the map makes it seem like you can, because they're too far up. So there might be stuff in there that you can't really see from down here. And you continue to oar and paddle. The fog rising from the waters, cloying at your clothing, leaving this like oily taste in your mouth. And you can
Should we
keep on
climb up
going.
there? Hey, Bark.
If you want.
So what are we doing? All right, so you're steering the boats toward one of those alcoves.
Mhm.
Okay. Um. Okay. All right, so you move the boats towards the cliffside here and hold on to the many like handholds that are there to keep the boat steady. Who wants to climb up?
Ottardo can go.
All right, okay, Ottardo, you can climb up there. All right, yeah, you easily make your way up there, and you find that small alcove, abandoned, that just sits there, roughly 10 feet above the water. You can look out over the fog from here because you're slightly elevated, and the fog really like is so thick and heavy that it hangs just over the water's surface, and you can see those other four alcoves, and it's probably just as easy or difficult to climb across to another one from here than it would be to climb down and then back up again.
Is there any sign of unlife in them?
No, as I think you can see it, right? It's pretty small. It seems to be completely empty. There's just a little bit of pebbles and rock gravel in
Okay.
here.
Well, he'll climb back down and seems to be empty. I guess maybe we did eat all of the gnomes.
Oh, guess so.
Well,
And keep on making your way across that lake. On here. Hmm.
We can see that.
Well,
Yeah.
you can, but that's not a bad thing necessarily because you would definitely notice. Hang on. As you make your way across the water, you see like a disturbance, a ripple, bloop, something looking down. You didn't catch a glimpse of it when it first went down, but you see that you see it disappearing basically. And give me a moment here to figure out if that's actually how it could work. Okay, so I'm gonna set up the encounter here, and then we'll see how this works. I'm gonna roll my stealth. That's my initiative once again. There we are. Yeah, that probably wins initiative. So that will make sense. Okay. So yeah, so you just hear this like sound as something not too big seems to have sunk into the water. And then all of a sudden there's like little splashes and the boats start to move back and forth from a wave that just hits the walls of this little passage here and then comes back to make your boats kind of off kilter. And the next thing you know, 4 giant tentacles come shooting out of the water all around you and like flailing around, and a frog hemoth emerges from the water. And with that, we're going to call it a day.
Okay.
Who doesn't love random encounters?